welcome to the Halloween episode of A Pod of Tales, our bonus episode, where we're going to read you some scary short stories we have written. I am Corinne.
And I'm Brandi.
And we're going to try to scare the pants off of each other right now. So we specifically gave each other a list of our own personal fears. For me, it's probably not going to be difficult to scare me, even though it's kind of funny because I love scary movies. Brandi does not.
I hate scary movies, like anything like that.
I love them. And I don't like the body horror ones, though. Like slashers. I like the spooky ghost ones that are like, look under your bed, or look in your closet, who's standing there watching you. Well, that could easily turn into a true crime one too, but I like those kinds.
Alright, Corinne, you're going first. Halloween special, episode 3.
Oh yeah, this is episode 3. I forgot to say that. Okay. So, my story is based off of Brandi's fears. I will tell you what ones that I used after the story, so that way hopefully it can make a little bit of sense. Bear with me, because I did not type this out. This is my handwriting, so I might need to figure out my own handwriting for a second. Nicole is driving along the dark highway, her destination being her friend's housewarming party. It's Saturday night, so traffic is setting back the already 45-minute trip to one closer to an hour. Her phone...
driving.
What?
Sorry. I said, driving.
Driving at night.
Yeah.
Well, that's one fear of Brandi spoiled for the end.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I do want to scare you, so you can react if you need to. Okay. Where was I? Should I just start over?
No, just do it.
Okay. It's Saturday night, so traffic is already setting back the already 45-minute trip to one closer to an hour. Her phone is on 15% now, and she's nervous it won't last long enough to get there, so she's hoping that her exit takes her to a main road full of signs. As she comes off the highway, the road is desolate and in need of more streetlights. Looking at her phone, it says that she'll arrive in 10 minutes. Nicole breathes a sigh of relief that her phone should make it, but her hope is soon dwindled when a few minutes later the screen goes black.
Oh, come on.
Anxiety filled her chest as she realized she has to stop and ask for either a car charger or directions. She pulls into the nearest gas station, and hesitantly, Nicole asks the cashier for directions to her friend's street. She at least knew she was in the right town. The attendant stared at her with dull eyes. She thought she could see the gears turning in his head, so she waited a moment before making sure he heard her correctly. He just nods, not breaking his gaze. Nicole decides to leave and take her chances. She continues to drive in the same direction, but starts to worry that she'll never find her friend's house. She pulls over when she approaches a park to gather herself. She searches her car for any rogue car charger that may have been forgotten in there over the years, and she gets lucky finding the plug for the cigarette lighter at least. Now she just needs a cord.
My God.
As she's about to keep searching, she hears something small hit the roof. Nicole initially thinks it was just something that fell out of a tree, but as she remembers the sound, she realizes that it certainly wasn't an acorn or a squirrel. Every cell in her body tells her not to leave her car, but then she hears something else outside of the car. It sounds like someone walking, but it was too dark to see, so she brushed it off as an animal. After giving up her search for a charging cord, Nicole sat back in her seat, letting out a frustrated sigh. When she opens her eyes, she sees the cashier from the gas station looking in her driver's side window at her with those same dull eyes.
No!
Nicole screams and tries to move to the passenger seat. Before she can lock the doors, he has already opened the driver's side door and started getting in. She escapes out of the other side and starts running toward the trees. She can feel him on her heels, so when she enters a clearing in the trees, she notices the water tower and starts running over to it. She runs to it. She starts climbing it, hoping he won't think to look up when he catches up. She climbed faster than she knew she could, but was exhausted when she reached the top. She lay low on the platform and watched for any sign of the man as she caught her breath. She saw him finally emerge from the trees some moments later and felt her heart drop into her butt when he stopped and looked up at her, meeting her gaze precisely. Nicole scrambles back and tries to think quickly of what to do as he starts climbing up the water tower. Seeing the door to get inside, she gets an idea to open the door a little and trick him into thinking that she was hiding inside while she hid on the other side of the outside. Wait, I didn't write that very well. She's leaving the door open. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that.
But then she's going to hide on the other side of the water tower, outside, like not in the water.
I know.
Okay. So making sure that was easy to understand. He takes the bait and opens the door more to look inside. She comes around and pushes him in. He thrashes around for a moment to get his bearings as she watches in shock from the doorway. She hesitates a moment before she sees him swimming back towards her. His reflection in the water shows a demonic figure grinning back at her. As he swam forward, she slammed the door and made her way back down, hearing the shrieks and banging from inside the water tower. By the time Nicole reached the ground, the banging had intensified to inhuman strength. Fear and adrenaline lurched her forward to run back toward her car. She got in, locked the doors, and went to turn it on, but it wouldn't start. She hit the steering wheel in frustration when suddenly there was a loud boom. Startled, she sat and listened to the sound of water surging. She looked out of the window to see a large amount of water rushing toward her from the direction of the water tower. Before she could react, her car was swept away with her in it, bringing her to the pond that sat nearby in the park. Panic filled Nicole as she frantically tried to open the door that she forgot she locked. By the time she remembered, she was already submerged and water was starting to rush in through the vents. She tried to calm herself so she could think, but her heart was beating too hard and too fast. After a few moments of steadying her breath, she unlocked the door and tried to open it, but the water pressure made it more difficult. She tried to remember what she learned in a documentary about escaping sinking cars, but she couldn't think straight. She tried to slowly open it, wanting to leave breaking the window as the last effort, and it seemed to work. Nicole held her breath as water started to rush in, and she managed to get the door open enough to slip out. When she surfaced, she started to swim to the shore and stopped about halfway when she saw a massive bat-like creature fly toward her from the trees and land on the shore. Even from her vantage point, she recognized those dull, lifeless eyes staring down at her. Nicole turned around to swim to the other side of the pond. It was a longer distance, but it was the only way she could see to get away from him. Before she made it to shore, the demon had flown over and scooped her out of the water, carrying her off as she screamed. Nicole saw them approaching a cemetery as they flew and spotted a freshly dug grave. Before she could think of it, they plummeted down into the hole and it sealed itself up. The gravestone was Nicole's.
Oh, God.
Did you like it?
I'm just cringing.
So, for people who don't know Brandi, and are probably wondering why I was emphasizing things about water towers, she is, for some reason, deathly afraid of them. She always has been. We used to be driving around in the car. She'd see one, like, as a toddler and, like, start flipping out that we were too close to it. I don't know what you're thinking, but I felt like that would be a good situation to be afraid of water towers for, so...
You know, that is why I'm afraid of water towers, though.
Because of the demons chasing you through them?
No, it's just like, what if you, like, fall in and, like, there just could be dead bodies in there and then it's all rusty. I hate the thought that it's all rusty in there and then it's just gross. It's disgusting.
I hate rust, too. It is pretty nasty. Although I don't really know anyone who enjoys rust, but...
But I hate the thought of it being so much bigger than me and then there's water in it and I'm like, how long has that water been in there for?
Well, I probably should have done research on water towers before writing this, so that way I could just tell you, but they help you have water pressure in your houses.
Yeah, no.
So the water goes up through there and then it gets pushed back down through the other part, or the other side, whatever. It goes up. It goes up into the big ball part, and then it, like the pressure pushes it back down through the pipes, and then that's when it gets distributed to like houses and stuff.
Just so gross.
That's what Ryan's told me. So if I'm wrong, you can blame him.
I just hate them.
All you water tower enthusiasts, you don't come after me because I don't care. So that's one of the things I use. I also use talking to new people and it being awkward because you had to talk to a cashier. New social events and not knowing the way or where to park.
Yeah.
She was on her way to her friend's housewarming party. I also use faces in the window at night because he showed up right outside the window. Seeing demons and mirrors at night. I use the water as a mirror and a literal demon. Being trapped in a car in water and being buried alive.
Yeah.
I think
you nailed that.
I think I got more than half of your list shoved into that one story. Yeah. And so now it's your turn. Scare me.
Good job.
Thank you.
That. Let me just set the scene first.
Okay.
We are in the middle of the ocean. It is very dark. Okay.
How dare you?
Anything. What?
How dare you? It's the ocean.
Okay. I know.
Never know what's in there.
Ready?
Yep.
I wish I had a sound machine for this. It would make this story so much better.
Okay.
I just wish that you could have the sound as I'm reading it.
Like real time listening to the story. What do you want me to picture?
So, we're working with a boat and all its creepy creakiness and everything else.
Okay, and the waves hitting the side of the boat.
Yeah.
It's rocking back and forth just a little bit.
Yep. Sounds
Some really,
in the distance.
Really cranky people on there.
We'll see. Alright. Water is splashing onto my feet as I'm struggling to climb the ladder, getting onto the boat. There are things down there scratching on me. We're in the middle of the ocean. It's midnight. We're the only ones out here. The only light that I have is the moon shining down on me. Hoping and praying someone helps me. It's rough out here. The waves are crashing and the rain is pouring down. I fell over as I was trying to anchor. The number one rule has always been, don't do tasks alone at night. But I'm stubborn and I did it anyways. The waves suddenly stop. The rain ceases and the ocean is calm and quiet. The only thing you can hear is the water dripping off the ladder and the boat making small creaking noises. The motor is off, we are anchored, and there's no other sound except that I hear a trickle behind me, and I know it's not the boat, and the slosh off in the distance. I hear the creak of the boat get a little louder, and the murmur of the steel was deafening. There's something here with me, and I don't know what it is. Paralyzed in fear, the slosh and splash get a little bit louder and a little closer. I wonder what is out here with me. Still no one is here to get me. The ladder is twisting and turning, and my foot keeps getting caught in the rope. I'm stuck. The trickles and splashes start to get louder. It sounds like it's under me now. I feel things swimming past me and under me. It's so dark, I can't see what's under. I can't see what's beside me or underneath me.
Good question.
Yeah.
Which ocean are we in? Is this the Atlantic?
Yeah.
Because it's like dirty and like green.
Yeah.
You can't see into it.
Sounds good. I'm left out in the cold and the water is below freezing. It feels like my leg is being stabbed with 1,000 knives. Either something is eating me alive or it's just that cold. I can't see. My body is giving up on me. The wind blowing. The water is splashing, sending shooting pain through my body. My will is fading away. My breathing is slowing down. I can hear the blood thumping through my ears.
Ew.
Ba-bum. Ba-bum.
Ew.
So dark.
So
cold.
gross.
Oh!
Sorry, what?
My breathing is slowing down. I hear the blood pumping through my ears. Ba-bum. Ba-bum. Bum-bum.
That's nasty.
It's so dark, so cold. My whole body starts to tingle, and then I warm up. My grip is loosening on the rope. My knees are weakening. Still, no one knows I'm here. There's no one to help me. Just me and whatever else in here. I try one last attempt to get myself back up on the boat. I look down, and I still see nothing. My pain is great. I can't handle it anymore, and I just let go. Floating down to the bottom of the ocean floor. Whatever is down here will leave nothing left.
My God.
Will leave nothing left of my body.
Mm.
The water fills my lungs, and all goes black. I'm one with the ocean.
Oh my God.
That's it.
Be dark and cold is just terrible.
Yeah.
I think I know a few of the fears you were tapping into for me. Why don't you tell everyone what you were doing?
You hate the ocean.
Yeah.
For one.
Well, to clarify, I like looking at it.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. It's also very, very terrifying once you put your head under there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to swim at the beach. I'll look at the water. The closest I get to, like, playing in the water is going to the tide pools.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, look at the little snails. The snails and the hermit crabs. I like looking at those. Seeing if you could find any starfish or something. And I almost went to college to be a marine biologist, but the more I learned, the more I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not going in there. It's terrible. So what else have you got?
Darker than dark.
Which is the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. And you don't like needles or like stabbings or...
Nope.
So I played into that.
Leave my skin alone.
Yep.
Nope. And you also, I don't know if you meant to do this, but I hate thinking about how the body functions.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Okay, so because of the ear thing, there have been times where I've like hyper-focused on my pulse in my feet.
Yep.
And then I start freaking out because I can't stop thinking about it. And it's pretty gross to me. I don't want to be full of anything but fluff. Everything is really gross in there.
Yeah.
It only takes one thing for it to start going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you do? So, you had heights in there with the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, heights. I am terrified of heights. Hate them. I like to be on the ground.
And also, like, I can't remember if you, like, put this in here, but, like, you don't like being stuck in places. So,
I don't remember if I did tell you that, but yeah, you are right.
But, like,
yeah.
you're trapped, like, on the ladder. Like, you can't get off.
Yeah.
And you're also in the ocean.
Well, that kind of reminds me, being trapped on the ladder is how I used to climb trees.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get back down because I was afraid of heights.
Yeah.
And I'd be like frozen. I remember Dad came over once and I was stuck up in a tree and I was like, help. He was like walking up to the door and I started yelling at him from the backyard like, hey, can you come help me?
What was that?
This was when we lived on Glen Street, so he wasn't like living with us, but he had like come over for some reason. I don't remember if it was to pick us up or if he had to drop something off to Mom or something. I don't know. But he just happened to come by, pulled into the driveway, and I was like, thankfully pretty close to the driveway in the backyard. Like that like tree wall that we had.
Yeah.
I was up in one of those, and I was like, I wasn't even up that high. That was the other thing. I can't get back down sometimes.
Yep.
But it is weird. I'm a very contradictive person because I like climbing trees, but I hate heights. But as long as I'm secure in one spot and I have figured out a way where I know I'm not going to fall, it'll be fine. But like even like going to the mall, I can't walk by the second floor's like glass barrier.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I can't get too close to that because I'll lose my mind. The ocean was a good one to do that in. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to put me in like a doctor's appointment or something.
I should have. But I felt like that was like way too easy, you know?
Well, I went straight for your throat. I was just like, I'm going to put her in a water tower.
Yeah, but I felt like doctor's office was too much of a giveaway. So I was like, I'm going to like get it where it hurts.
Yeah.
Without knowing.
Yeah, you did pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty haunting.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about that for a while, I think.
You're welcome.
Those are our stories. We only did one each. So Halloween is today when this comes out.
Yes.
As of right now, it is still like a week away from Halloween. But do you have any plans for it?
Yeah, so Brandon and I were planning on doing like the Bob and Linda costumes from Bob's
Oh my God,
Burgers.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, because a couple years ago, this is the only time I ever made Ryan do a couple's costume with me, and it wasn't even really a couple's costume. Because his friend was hosting a Halloween party, and I was like, well, we have to dress up, because these people go all out. And so I went to Spirit Halloween with Mom, and I found a cheeseburger costume. And I texted Brian. I was like, hey, if I buy this for you, will you wear it? And he said, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, so I bought the cheeseburger costume, and then I found a Louise costume.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't fit me very well, but I was just like, I don't care. I don't know what else to do. I couldn't think of much, so I just got that. And I still have the Coochie Kopi doll in my car. Like in the front. Yeah, it's like it's shoved into the windshield. But yeah, so that's great.
I mean, like, in a way, I think I'm more like Tina.
Oh, I love Tina. I'm Tina, 110%.
Yeah.
I'm Tina outwardly, but I think internally I'm a lot more Louise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I definitely have devious thoughts. They just don't get acted upon most of the time.
What are you and Ryan doing?
Well, we are supposedly going to that Halloween party. I haven't had it confirmed as of a week before. But I'm not sure what we're going to do. Kind of let it get cut too close, I think. So I might either be a raccoon or Mothman.
Mothman?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one though. But if I'm going to be Mothman, I have to order a couple things, which I'll have to do that now if I'm going to do it.
That's funny.
Thank you.
I like that.
I don't know what Ryan wants to do though. But I told him those were my ideas and that they were for me. But I told him, like, hey, if I'm a raccoon, will you wear a trash bag? like because, like, raccoon and trash, they're a couple. Like, they're hand in hand.
I like that.
Thank you.
That's cute.
I don't know what we're doing, but by next episode, I'll tell you. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you for listening. I hope we scared you and that we give you nightmares for Halloween. I hope you are having a happy and safe Halloween and you get lots of candy. Please give the teenagers their candy if they come to your door. Don't be a jerk.
They deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
They could be out doing other things, but they're trick-or-treating.
Yeah. Well, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Goodbye.
Bye.